Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Tuesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. So today, I've been actually waiting to do a review on a Tuesday just so I can specifically review this beer, just because it has Tuesday in the name, and I wanted to wait till a Tuesday to actually review it. But today, we got one here from the Bruery, which the Bruery is spelled different. It's Bruery instead of your normal way of spelling brewery. But today we got one called Black Tuesday, which refers to the stock market crash back in the 30s, if you don't remember. But in this one is an Imperial Stout aged in red wine barrels. So this is going to be very, very interesting to me. I don't know. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this is a little bit another heavy one we got. If you guys were around a couple days ago, I reviewed a 19.5% Imperial Stout. Well, this one is kind of up there as well. This one is actually an 18% Imperial Stout, and I'm pretty damn excited. I'm hoping that seeing that it's aged in red wine barrels, I want to know what that's going to kind of do to the flavor of it. If it's going to add like berry notes to it, maybe have similar dark fruit elements of like maybe a barley wine or something like that. So this one definitely caught my attention for sure. And plus, the brewery is kind of a brewery that I've never even heard of before. I know I've talked to Mr. Wintucky Shine. He said he has a lot of good things to say about them when it comes to a lot of their stouts. Of course, the Black Tuesday Imperial Stout is like one of their namesake kind of stouts. They decide to do different variations of it all around the year. And this one is the red wine barrel aged version. So I am pretty damn excited to finally try this one out. It's been sitting in my fridge just waiting for me to drink it. So I think it's time for us to crack this guy open. I'm expecting I don't know if I'm expecting any like wine elements. Maybe it's gonna hopefully make it pretty velvety. It's gonna still have some darksted like roasted chocolate notes to it. But I have no idea what this red wine kind of aspect is gonna do to this beer. So I'm pretty damn excited to finally crack this thing open. So of course, if I'm gonna be opening a bottle, I have to use my little cock and balls bottle opener from Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler. So let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's like on the nose. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, definitely getting a nice, like, kind of like roasted malt kind of notes. Definitely not really getting much of chocolatiness, but I'm definitely getting notes of like dark fruit, like plum, dates, all that kind of stuff. A little bit of spice forward notes, but yeah, it smells absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, I'm gonna be drinking this out of my untapped tulip glass this afternoon. I want to see how pretty much heavy this little boozy bastard's going to be. So let's pour this guy. Oh yes, this is definitely a dark one. Almost has some like darkish goldish colors to it as well. It's definitely only a 12.7 ounce bottle, so it's not that big. So I'm able to fit the entire bottle into this tulip glass, and there definitely are some like more browner notes coming through, even though not a lot of head at all. Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely getting a lot of those like almost cherry like berry notes coming through as well. Yeah, this smells like it's gonna be boozy. It smells like it's gonna be smooth, velvety. Yeah, I think it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers everybody. Happy Tuesday to you all. Oh yeah. Strong. Definitely getting a lot of those like tannic kind of wine components. Okay, so it's spelled Bruery because of the founder's name is Patrick Roux. Okay, that's actually pretty nice kind of touch to it. Thanks for the info there, Face Meat. But yeah, this is pretty fantastic. Definitely getting the booziness coming through it forward on this one, because I think this one's actually a little bit more boozy than the last one I had. That was a 19.5%, because I think that one was a little bit smoother, but this one definitely has that like kind of boozy note coming through just a little bit more, to where like the throat feels a little bit warmer than the last one did. Still getting like those roasted kind of notes, a little bit of chocolate, more like a semi-sweet kind of chocolate element, but definitely getting those like deep fruit, almost spice notes coming through as well, to kind of give similarities of a barley wine almost. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Smooth, velvety, of course not really having any effervescence to it at all, just because not really much carbonation going in this guy. Has an almost like, yeah, the tannic quality of this thing is definitely coming through, leaving like a little bit of like a minerally bitterness almost to it. but I think that actually helps add those like wine-ish kind of elements to this, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely a big fan of this one. This is another one that's not for the faint-of-hearted. You have to enjoy heavy ABV Imperial Stouts with this one. But looking here on Untapped, before we read the description of this guy and everything, we always like to go through and see if we can find some similar beers that we can look at and see if you can't get your hands on this one from the Bruery. Then you might be able to get your hands on one of these other ones that may give you similar flavor profiles, which I think is going to be difficult because having something aged in red wine barrels is definitely going to have that unique kind of flavor to it. So I'd be very surprised if I find anything on here that would give you, say, similar flavor profiles. So we got one here from the same brewery. It's one of their Black Tuesdays, which is a Skull's Tavern Barrel Select, which I'm not really going to select that one. We got one here from the Answer, which I think was the same one that was on the other one I did back a couple days ago. From I think it was River North. The Chuang 50th, which is a 16.5, like a kind of a celebration of a guy's birthday. So that's definitely more coffee forward. We got the Brutal V3 Coconut, which is from Marteau Brewing Company, which 14% barrel aged in rum barrels. Maybe you're definitely gonna get that barrel aged component, but to be honest, the last one I'm gonna look at here is another one from the Answer. Is a Smooth Ambler barrel aged Phantom Limb Pain. But that's just another, it's a Smooth Ambler bourbon barrels for 14 months. So a lot of these ones are really ones that I wouldn't choose for this, just because having something aged in wine barrels, you're definitely going to get a very, very unique flavor coming through on this one. And it's going to be really difficult for you to find something that's similar to this, in my opinion, just because those kind of mineral component that the wine flavors brings in, of course, a little bit spice notes, a little bit of berry, kind of dark fruit notes that's coming in. It's going to be difficult to replicate that in anything coming out of like a bourbon barrel or kind of a rum barrel kind of situation. So this is definitely one of the most unique like barrel-aged beers I think I've ever had, just because there's so many different components that are different compared to like your bourbon barrel-aged kind of stuff. So this is, but it's still absolutely delicious. So let's look. I don't know if I'm going to suggest any of the similar beers on this one, like I said, but let's move on a little bit. Let's look and see what they show as a description here for this beer on Untapped. So, the description says, the economy fluctuates, the latest fads inevitably change, Black Tuesday stands the test of time. This rare release of our stored Imperial Stout was aged in the Grand Cru of California wine barrels, adding velvety texture, tannic complexity, spice notes, earthy layers, and even more dark fruity character to our favorite day of the week. Yeah, I think aging something in wine barrels is a very, very nice kind of different take on how you would do an Imperial Stout, just because it brings forward a little bit more of those kind of spice notes that you would kind of, you're almost replicating notes of like a barley wine. We're bringing in notes of dark fruit. You're bringing notes of like darker, like a spice kind of notes. So I think it's very, very, this is definitely a really, really complex beer. There's a lot going on, a lot of flavors hitting you. But overall, I think they did an outstanding job with this one. I definitely want to try some of the other variations of the Black Tuesday, just because I want to see how the flavor changes depending on what kind of barrel they put it in, because you can put the same beer in 3 different barrels and each one is going to taste absolutely different from each other. That's how fun and unique barrel aging a beer is. So, looking at back at Untapped, like I said before, it's an 18% ABV. So this left the realm of sessionable a long time ago, to be honest. This is one that I'm going to definitely be sipping. This is definitely going to take me maybe like an hour or two to actually finish this 12-ounce glass, just because they're going to be short sips and just enjoying myself and enjoying the flavors of this beer. And with over 2,222 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.34 out of 5, which is outstanding. Having a beer with over 2,000 ratings and still having an average rating above a 4.25 on Untapped, I think just tells you that the quality of beer they're coming out with this one is outstanding. So, of course, we like to look at my friends list and see if anybody checked this one in. Of course, we got one. My buddy Keith checked this one in and gave it a 4.5 out of 5, which, yeah, he checks in all kinds of stuff. I think he's from my area. I don't remember correctly, but he gets a lot of stuff that I can get my hands on here locally, but he looks like he got his hands on this Black Tuesday. So let's get back to the global rating and see what other people had to say. So this guy was a different kind of language, but let's see what he put. He gave it a 4.25, and the translation says, Basic Black Tuesday with obvious influence for the red wine barrel. I was afraid it would make the beer too sour in taste, but barrel is just subtle enough to prevent that. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get those sour notes from the barrel aging of the with using the wine barrels. I think you're just going to get a lot of those different, like, deeper elements that the red wine bring off that stays in those barrels when the wine is aging, and that's going to get introduced into this barrel-aged stout. And I think that's exactly what happened, and it's phenomenal. And let's look down here more. This guy gave it a full 5 out of 5. Another 5 out of 5 purchased at Farmer's Bar, which is a shopping mall in Japan, it looks like. Holy crap. No, it's not Japan. It's, okay, but that's definitely overseas. I have no idea where the hell that is, but looks like they can get their hands on that over there. But what else we got here? We got was that a 425? Was that? No, it's a 375. And let's see, we got a 475 here saying chocolate, smoke, sweet berries. Yeah, definitely getting berry qualities. Not really getting much of a smokiness to it. I think it's just those deeper kind of spice notes, and definitely getting like almost a semi-sweet chocolate flavor in there. So I definitely agree with that part with him. But what else we got here? This is another 475 saying chalk and cherry black forest cake, like a cherry liqueur. This Imperial Stout is aged in red wine barrels. Don't let the dull color fool you, but this is a stunning combination. 18% ABV. Had to sponge this beer off to taste this beauty. Cheers and congrats. So yeah, he was trying to savor every last drip of this beer because it's, like I said, it's an outstanding beer. What else we got? We got another 4.5. We got another 4.75, 4.25. So yeah, ratings on this one, I already knew were going to be pretty fantastic. That's for damn sure. So with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing on our end over here for ratings. And of course, since it's not a can, we're going to look at the bottle art in this guy because I like this one. It's definitely really clean. I think it's pretty funny how they put contains alcohol when it's an 18%, but they might be, since they're the state of California, they might have to put that on there. But it's a really clean, like, I know there's some variants of the same beer that have like a black and silver or like a black and grayish kind of thing, but I have like the black and almost like coppery amber kind of color to it, which I really, really like. Definitely leaves something that they let you know that they're letting the beer speak for itself. They're not really going too over the top with the branding and all that stuff, but the Bruery logo is clean. I love just when it's a very high quality beer, having a high quality label on there is always really, really important, and they nailed it with this one. So yeah, absolutely love it. So this is gonna get like a 4 out of 5 for like high quality labels would give you when it comes to some really higher and more rare kind of releases of a beer. So that being said, if I got this beer in a flight at the brewery, if I went over to California and got my hands on some in a flight or maybe a little taster glass, would I get my hands on a bottle to either buy for myself or get another of? If I got another one of these, it definitely, like I said with the last one I did, I definitely wouldn't be driving if I had this at the brewery. But yeah, definitely agree. I definitely agree. But yeah, face meat, these labels are always really, really classy. That's the ones I've seen from the other beers I've done. The labels are very, very nice. Well, okay, so like I said, if I would have gotten another one of these, wouldn't be driving home with this one. This would definitely be one that I'd probably grab an Uber, or if I had a designated driver that would want to drive me around to a brewery and let me have some high ABV stuff and then drive my ass back home. Sure, I would definitely get another one of these. This is definitely one that I would bring home and sell her for a while, maybe for like another year or something after I purchased it, just to see what it would do to the complexity of this one, because it's already very, very complex in its own. So I want to see how much stronger it gets, how much more complex. Maybe the more tannic flavors come through a little bit more. Maybe those wine flavors just kind of slap you in the face that much more, and it probably would raise an ABV almost too. But overall, yeah, this beer is outstanding. I'm a really, really big fan of this one. So what is my final rating on this guy going to be? Last time I had that 19.5%, I forgot to give it a rating, so I had to put in the comments section below just because it was already getting to me and already giving me the forgets for a high ABV beer. But what is my final rating on this guy going to be? To be honest, I can't find really many faults with this one because the flavors I'm tasting right now I absolutely love. I'm going to love kind of seeing what it starts like lowering in temperature once maybe it gets to like that maybe 55, 60 degree mark on the beer itself. If the flavors start changing, maybe those dark fruit elements start coming through a little bit more. But from what I'm tasting right now, I'm going to give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. It's absolutely outstanding. If you can get your hands on this Black Tuesday aged in red wine barrels, and if you're a fan of higher ABV Imperial Stouts or barrel-aged stouts, this is going to be something that's right up your alley. This is another absolutely outstanding high ABV barrel-aged stout, and this has kind of opened my eyes to what the brewery can kind of come out with. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for some other stuff in the future. I want to see some other variants of this stuff coming my way. So definitely going to keep an eye on Tavour in that matter. But other than that, I think that is what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It will help me out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live, do another review. I don't have a review plan for tomorrow because I got to go into work, but for the rest of the week after that, I should have reviews coming for you guys, so keep an eye out for those. But let's see, if you want to possibly get your hands on some stuff for the brewery, obviously people like Face Meat in Kentucky, since you're in California and in the area where they distribute, you can possibly get your hands on their stuff over there. Or you can go on their website and go on their beer finder. You may be able to find some stuff distributed in your area. You can always ask your local liquor store or bottle shop if they carry any stuff from their distributor from the brewery, so because they can always ask and see if they can get their hands on the stuff. But other than that, if you want to try out Tavour to get your hands on it, always recommend them. That's how I get all my stuff when it comes to stuff that doesn't come through the state. It's a really, really cool service. You could do like a subscription box, or you could build your own box, which is what I do. And they like delivering to like more of the suburban areas, I guess you could say, delivering to rural areas, just because they take advantage of local courier services. Is a little bit difficult. So when you go on Tavour's app, like their website, they'll lead you to the app store with whatever you use, like an iPhone or Android. They'll lead you to the app store, and when you're creating your account through Tavour, you'll put in your zip code, and they'll let you know right away if you can get your hands on stuff. I know Kevin's already taken advantage of getting stuff through Tavour, and he's found some bangers on there. So Mr. Kevin K is definitely showing people that he is another person out there that has taken advantage of the service that Tavour brings out. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, if you're on social media and you're a fan of craft beer, there's one place you need to get yourself over to, and that is Untappd. I can't stress it enough. They do so many things over there when it comes to making an app that is just so fun to use. You can check in beers, get badges, all that kind of stuff. It's a super fun time. You could see people like me, Kentucky, Duchess is on there, Logan's on there, Ian, Face Meat, Kevin's on there. We're all on Untappd, just checking in beers and having a good time. Plus, if you want to go over to Untappd's YouTube page, they always do a podcast over there as well. They do it like one every week or one every couple weeks. It's a really, really fun podcast between two main guys over at Untappd, and it's just a really, really cool listen to. They talk about how to get badges and inspiration behind different badges and all that kind of stuff that they have on Untappd. It's a really, really fun platform. So if you're on Untappd and don't have me as a friend yet, link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. But other than that, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.